Hey guys, hopefully you're having a good day so far. Thank you for tuning into my podcast, Debbie and Hearing About Advocacy and Empowerment for Teachers. Have you ever felt discouraged or want to better support your student in getting the services they need to be successful? Sometimes advocating for your students can be a lot of hard work, but know that in the future your students will thank you tremendously for helping them out. Just keep an eye out for someone who's struggling and find ways to support them and as they can become your best friend. So let's dive into this episode. Hey teachers, welcome back to Debbie and Hearing Advocacy and Empowerment for Teachers. So today I was thinking that I should talk about my cochlear implant surgeries and how that went. Because I tried to bring it up in a few of my episodes and I realized, oh wait, I haven't talked about them. And so I thought it'd be a good idea if I kind of went ahead and talked about my process of getting my cochlear implants. Because my first one was much worse than my second one, as my second implant surgery was much calmer than my first one. So here's what happened. So I was losing my hearing about when I was a senior in high school, and a lot of the people in my family and a lot of my team was very supportive of me getting my cochlear implant surgery right before I headed off to college. And so I got my first cochlear implant on February 11th, 2022. Yes, it was 3 days before Valentine's Day. That's how I remember so vividly. Anywho, so my first cochlear implant surgery, it went awfully terrible in a lot of ways. First of all, I procrastinated putting off having a cochlear implant surgery because I thought I was gonna die in my sleep. The girl thought she was gonna die or not come back to life or remain unconscious for a lifetime. I don't know why, I just had this huge fear. And so it took me a very long time to finally get past that fear. Because I talked to a lot of my parents. I talked to my parents a lot about it. I talked to a lot of I talked to teachers. I talked to a lot of successful candidates, and they said the doctors know what they're doing. There's nothing that you need to be afraid of or worried about. If anything, you can tell the nurses what you're feeling and how they can help you do it. How they can have you tell what to expect for your surgery. But yeah, your girl was not very calm for that in that aspect. Because number one, my mom and I ran late for my surgery. We were supposed to be at the hospital around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We parked in the wrong ramp, and we were also on the wrong side of the building. And so we were asking for help, guidance on where to go. Nobody really people knew how to help us, but we just couldn't figure it out as a team together on how to go to the hospital. And so I also remember when I was at the hospital, I got checked in and everything. They handed me a hospital gown. I tried the hospital gown. I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to get it on me because I've never had this before and I didn't know what to expect. Anywho, long story short, the hospital gown didn't fit me at all. It was huge, and for me, if you know me in real life, I'm very tiny. I'm I don't know, flat as a pancake. Anywho, but the hospital gown didn't fit me at all. And then I was so confused because I also, if you're a woman, when you go through surgery that you can wear an underwear. I didn't know anything about that because I thought it was just gonna be completely bare. I thought it was just gonna be completely naked. And a lot of people that know me also know that I like to cover up because I don't like to be exposed a lot. I don't like to show any cleavage or anything. I literally wear sports bras 24/7. I literally don't take them off unless I shower. And I literally want, if I have to dress up for an occasion, I'd rather find a bra that mainly covers most of my cleavage because I don't like to show off. But anyway, I'm getting off the story. Yes, I got my period right before my surgery, and because of that, I didn't know that, oh hey, you can wear an underwear. You can wear a surgery approved underwear if you're on your period. I was so glad that happened. I was glad that happened because then people didn't have to see me completely naked. But yeah, the hospital gown didn't fit me. I could even barely. So anesthesia, if you get like those on anesthesia pretty well, or like if you can either like stay like kind of like get out of it like after you've done the surgery. I couldn't even pee because I was so stressed out. And I think for that reason, like because it was also my first time having this surgery on my right side, someone also accidentally opened the door while I was trying to do my business, and that set me over the edge. And I couldn't even like, the nurses literally like, oh my god, like I'm getting way too much information here. But yeah, like it made it 10 times worse. And so I remember the nurse trying to like explain to me like what I was like, what the process was all gonna be like. But I mean, did it help me out? Somewhat, not really. I mean, I was just very stressed out. Like they literally had to give me a stress ball because I was so stressed out for the life of me on what to expect. And they placed me, I remember being wheeled off to surgery. I was bawling. Like I was bawling the entire time. Like, I was trying to keep my calm, but I tell you, like, I was so stressed out that I was bawling the entire time. And then when I was wheeled into the operating room, my goodness, that's what had happened was that they put me on the operating table. I was looking around, like, all the nurses, like, all the surgeons that were going to perform this cochlear implant surgery on me. And I was just completely out of it. I saw my doctor, and like I saw my surgeon there. He's a great guy. But anyway, yeah, like I saw my doctor there, like I saw my surgeon there. And then they flipped me over the table. Like they had me like go over on my side, and I was just freaked out because the next thing I know, I was staring at my implant that was gonna go inside of like my brain towards my ear. Like I saw like my internal components of the implant, and when I saw that, I just completely freaked out. Like I started crying like 10 times more than I was. Like I was just freaked out. And I don't know why I said pap smear on my second time of having the surgery. I still don't even know what that means. And yes, I should know what it is, but I don't remember. But like I remember the doctors like putting some sort of like a wet sticky pad like over my butt. And I wonder if that was like a way to help me like not be as stressed out, because like I was stressed out, like I was crying, like I was crying the entire time. And yeah, like I was just crying, like yeah, I just cried a lot my first time around having the surgery. Like I was totally so freaked out. Like I knew what to expect, but I didn't think I had to go through it so quickly. And then like after, like I was completely out after having the whatever this stuff you call it that goes onto the butt. Like I was out of it. And then I woke up in a chair after my after my surgery. And I'm like, oh, I'm in the waiting room, waiting to be, I'm like, waked up. I don't think I could even move because I was like so out of it. And I'm like, wow, this is my new reality. Could I still hear? During that time, my left ear, I really wasn't hearing that well. But I wanted to give my right side a try first because like it was something that I needed to do, because like it was a way that I could like speed up the process of being able to like listen. And so yeah, like after I think it took me about 2 hours to recover my surgery because I was so out of it. And then like it also sent me over the edge too, because one of the nurses accidentally like messed up the process, like the cochlear implant processors, the wrong processors to the wrong patients. Because I asked, I saw there was like an implant, but I knew it wasn't my processor. So I asked mom about that. And then she asked the nurses, and the nurses were like, oh yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, we can definitely like get that figured out. And yeah, it turned out like somebody was also having surgery the same exact day that I also had my surgery. So I'm like, interesting. But yeah, like I was so out of it. Like I literally had to be like wheeled to get my my medication because I was just so out of it. However, when I had my second surgery, it was November 18, 2022, right? Yes, I remember that day. So, like, I remember, like I have my cochlear implant surgeries within the same year because my hand was, like, it was deteriorating badly. Anywho, my second time, it was much better. One, because my mom and I were actually on time. I actually drove to the hospital, and I I parked the car for my mom because my mom has a hard time backing out apparently. And so we were on time, like we knew what to expect. I wasn't stressed out, like I was very calm. I think another thing why it was much calmer my second time around, maybe it was because I was not in a pediatric hospital. Like I knew what to expect because I already like knew what I needed to do. So like the hospital gown, when they tried to give me the hospital gown, I'm like, I'm gonna need a much smaller size hospital gown because the one that I had last time was way too big. I'm like, is there like a much like smaller size one? They're like, oh yes, definitely. Like, sorry, I didn't even think about that. I'm like, yeah, sorry, like I've already been through like, this experience before, like I don't want to go through that again. They're like, oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, like it was much calmer. I got myself dressed and everything. I was much more, I don't know, content this time, I guess. And then like I was just ready to face it because I'm like, this is what I need to do and this is what I want to do in order to have a more fulfilling life. So after my surgery, I woke up in the hospital bed. It was like in like this huge operating room, and like I just woke up like with like several beds all around me, and like different like nurses kind of like around like machines. And like my at the time like my nurse was also like very like patient with me because I wanted to take my cochlear implant with me because I knew that if I didn't have it with me I would not be able to understand what was going on. And so when I had my left side done, my nurse I was waking up and I think they asked if I wanted my cochlear implant. I'm like, yes, I want my cochlear implant. I couldn't exactly like move it to where I needed to be, and so the surgeons like when they also like taped the bandage around my head, they were also like very careful on like where my magnet was, where my cochlear implant magnet was, so that way I could put my implant like under or like over the bandage so I could still be able to hear. But yeah, like the nurse was like very like patient. Like they turned it on, like I told them like how it all works, like what to do. They put it like over like my magnet area, and then like I heard like little like a chime. Like it's different, but like I heard like little like beep beep sound. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm back to life now. And yeah, like I was out within about like an hour of being like awake from my surgery, and I was just much more content. Though my mom thought that I was out of it, I really wasn't out of it as much because I was more alert. I think she almost got into an accident in Iowa City downtown, and like I literally just like yelled at her like, Mom, you're getting into somebody's way, like you need to turn. And she's like, wait, where? I'm like, oh my goodness. So yeah, like I was just much more in tune. I knew it was happening, but like at the same time, like I also couldn't drive because like I was under some medications. Like I was under anesthesia and you're not supposed to drive when you're like impaired. But yeah, like I was just like very alert during that time frame. And so I hope you learned how to help like support your student that has like a hearing loss, and when they have like a surgery, just kind of like be extremely patient with them and know that like some things are more easier than others. And for me, my first time around it was much more difficult, but my second time around was much more easy because I knew what to expect because I had already been through the process. And so just remember, you can be the voice for your students because you're listening to them and helping them succeed. So remember, be the voice. Thank you for tuning in to my podcast, Deaf in Hearing Loss Advocacy and Empowerment for Teachers. If you could please take like a moment of your day to leave me either like a like or any kind of comment on how I can better improve my podcast, please feel free to do so. You can also share my socials, it's linked down below. Thank you and have a wonderful day. And remember, be the voice.